Ugh. Just when you think brands couldn't get any worse, they do. Let's delve into some of the worst beauty videos to come out of TikTok this month, starting with a huge brand stealing the life of a content creator in order to sell their products. It sounds really extreme. It kind of is. This is such a strange story, but you may recognize this TikTok creator called Sharon, aka Sharavina, who went viral for her videos showing her doing her skincare and makeup routine, regularly featuring her dad, who would kind of like interrupt her routine and give her updates on the Taylor Swift effect that is happening with American football. Like how many more people watch a football game when Taylor Swift is in the audience. And this kind of became like a mini series, and these videos went viral. You got this father and daughter bonding over Taylor Swift and football. Super, super cute. So let's cut to the Super Bowl. I'm English, I don't know a lot about the Super Bowl. Is it like the World Cup of football? The Super Bowl is famous for two things. American football, the halftime shows, right? Is that right? And the adverts that brands produce for the breaks. They're usually high budget, like mini films, and they are shown to millions. And Cetaphil was one of those brands to buy in a super expensive slot in order to advertise their products. Their advert shows a father trying to bond with his daughter, trying to get her to watch football. It's so hard not to say American football because we have soccer, but she doesn't care. She's doing her own thing. She's in her own world, listening to music, doing her skincare routine, of course, using Cetaphil, until she hears what we presume is supposed to be an announcer announcing the arrival of Taylor Swift at this football game. Essentially grabbing her attention, making her go into the living room and sit with her father on the sofa. And they kind of bond over this moment. It's a cute story of how these types of things can bring family together, in particular father and daughters, but it's not a story. It's Sharon's real life. It's Sharon's content turned into a Cetaphil advert. But everybody noticed because Sharon's videos were so viral, especially amongst Taylor Swift fans, that Cetaphil got called out almost instantly. So everyone's going crazy, tagging Sharon and her dad, saying basically you cannot steal these people's lives and turn it into a Super Bowl advert and think nobody's gonna notice. Sharon and her dad started commenting on this and reaching out to Cetaphil, and Cetaphil kind of released a statement, well not really, posted a comment replying to this accusation, saying kind of like, oh yeah, it's very similar. Like this isn't their exact lives and their exact situation. It's too similar for it to just be a coincidence. It looks like they're now actually working with Cetaphil after they had a meeting with the father and daughter duo, and I hope they've been fairly compensated. On the subject of TikToks being stolen, meet TikToker Miranda Morris. She is a curve model who, on the build up to Valentine's Day, was sharing kind of like a daily photo shoot that she produced, and they're amazing. You should definitely go check them out. They all look incredible. And she finished the series with this really nice vintage inspired Valentine's Day video. And you know, it went viral for all the right reasons. However, 9 days later, influencer Emma Chamberlain's coffee brand posted this on their Instagram. Very, very similar. Now, of course, very, very similar. Now, of course, Miranda wasn't very happy about this. I'm gutted I didn't save the video, but she was basically calling Emma Chamberlain's coffee brand out for copying her. Kind of suspicious. Pretty much the exact same, what's all this called? Staging, set, that vintage kind of hair, pretty much wearing the same outfit. It was suspiciously similar according to Miranda. But I must be honest with you, when I first saw Miranda's shoe, I was like, that's cool. I feel like I've seen that before. Typical, very vintage. I love that kind of style. Very familiar to me. I didn't think it was the most original idea. Chamberlain Coffee kept relatively quiet on this situation. They didn't reply to any of the comments until they posted this behind the scenes look at the shoot on their Instagram, clearly showing the inspiration, which looks exactly like both Chamberlain Coffee's and Miranda's photo shoot, and a picture where we can very clearly see the date of the photo shoot, which happened to be roughly around a month before Miranda posted her picture. That was kind of it. They stayed quiet and the whole thing kind of blew over. All the TikToks Miranda posted related to this seem to be gone completely. I was gonna go back and save them and now they're all gone. So it looks like they've just kind of like forgot about this, you know? Because they proved that they didn't copy her. Now, as somebody who has worked on photo shoots, 9 days is not enough time to come up with a photo shoot. So from the date Miranda posted her video to the date Chamberlain Coffee posted theirs, you cannot get a professional shoot done within that time, from concept to completion, studio hire, the staff, the props, the set designer. not in 9 days. I do think the initial claim here that Miranda's work was copied is kind of bold in this situation. Like it's a very typical vintage looking thing, but I don't blame her because it's not unheard of for brands and bigger influencers to copy smaller size influencers, as we've seen from the Cetaphil advert. Going back to Super Bowl adverts, Temu had more than one ad air during the Super Bowl commercials, with experts saying that those adverts would have cost Temu roughly $7 million each for 30 seconds, $14 million for 1 minute. This year alone, 123 million viewers in the United States watched the Super Bowl. Politics are so important within the beauty space and our purchasing power. I'm not going to talk about that right now in this video today when it comes to Temu. There are so many deep dives into the alleged dangers and controversies here on YouTube, which I highly, highly recommend you seek out. I just wanted to say that we've all been saying Temu wrong.
Download the Temu app.
Temu?
Shop like a billionaire.
Temu, I will never ever call it Temu. It's horrible, it's horrible. But also the song, Shop Like a Billionaire, what does that mean? It's worrying. To me, this is encouraging people to spend and spend and spend on this app because everything is so worryingly dirt cheap. Spend loads of money on bits of plastic and shit you're never gonna use because it's, you know, 50 cents or like $1.40. So shopping like a billionaire, shopping like a billionaire to me sounds like you can just go crazy shopping on here, buy whatever you want, not worrying about the costs like a billionaire because everything is so cheap. It's weird, don't you think it's weird? Complete change of subject here. Let's talk about veneers. There's this sudden influx, especially Brits, I would say in particular, going to Turkey and getting veneers done. And we call them turkey teeth. And they boomed in popularity really down to Love Island, and seeing people in Love Island with these perfect white teeth. And I don't say perfect in the sense that they look perfect, they're like really good. They are too perfect, it's unnatural. They're oversized, people can't talk with them in, they look ridiculous. And people run into problems with these. They're falling out, they aren't done well, they look bad. And that's not because if you fly to Turkey and get your teeth done, you can't possibly find a good dentist or surgeon or whatever. There are, of course, amazing people out in Turkey who can do this correctly and safely. According to several online sources, because of this sudden influx of people flying out to Turkey and getting these new teeth done, there's been growing concerns over the materials being used, the lack of proper recovery and care because, you know, you fly in, you fly out, and the education and training that some of these dentists or whatever they are, surgeons have. And according to gentledental.co.uk, people are often being given crowns in place of veneers without knowing the difference. And this super popular procedure kind of shows people having their teeth filed right down, you know, into those like little stubs, and then a large crown being placed over the tooth. Now, this is not how they're supposed to be done. According to Gentle Dental, you're meant to file down them a tiny bit, place the crown on, and then, you know, they really have more support. But this has been done because crowns are cheaper, they take less time, and they do require less expertise. This can all lead to the crowns falling off, falling out, infections, pain, inability to eat. But that's for another video. I'm working on a video about this. But one thing that caught my attention was this TikTok.
Dentist reaction.
Is it just me, or do y'all realize that the girls that be having the veneers in their mouth have a little small, funky smell? It's like a small, funky smell in their breath. Like, you be trying to hug them like, hey, boo, what's up? Whoa, whoa, hey. What's that smell?
It's not the veneers that smell. The problem is that a lot of these patients are going out the country or to some shady clinics where they don't treat the major problems first. So some of these patients have big cavities, root canals, and tons of tartar on their teeth, but they leave with a nice white smile, and that's why they stink.
So that TikTok says, because of purely cosmetics reasons for veneers, people are still left with all that bad hygiene in their mouth. But then I saw this TikTok as well.
Most of the cases that come back, what I see is the margins are not 100% sealed. Yes, you will have bad breath. Will they cause you to have bad breath? The short answer is no, but there's a big but. If they're done properly and the margins are sealed and there's no patches, plaque, or bacteria, then yes, you will not have any bad breath. However, if you opt for something called snap-on smile, snap-on veneer, and those are not bonded to your teeth, and they accumulate bacteria, food, and everything in between, yes, you will have bad breath. And also, if you decide to go overseas and get your teeth done there, most of the cases that come back, what I see is the margins are not 100% sealed all the way around the tooth. So all in all, in order for you to have the result that you're looking for without having these kind of concerns, make sure you get them done here in Canada without having all the fuss. If you have any questions regarding your smile, please don't hesitate to contact us. We're here to help. Until next time, keep smiling.
And those clip-on teeth are so popular here in the UK. They look ridiculous and apparently smell very, very bad. Speaking of teeth, right? Imagine going to get your nails done. You're gonna go get some gel nails or some acrylics, whatever. And whilst you're there, they do your veneers as well. This TikTok shows a woman laying down after having her nails done with people sticking on what looks like cut full coverage tips, nail tips, being UV gelled onto her teeth and being cured onto her teeth. Now, the original TikTok of this is actually longer, and it shows the woman competing in what seems to be some kind of pageant. So no, these aren't supposed to be amazingly done professional teeth, but that's not the point. First of all, gel touching your lips, your gums, your skin can be they are full of acrylates, which are safe if you have training in how to do gel nails, but when uncured gel comes in contact with your skin, can cause lifelong allergies. And you develop this allergy to acrylates, which are in so many things, so many medical things too. They're in contact lenses, they can be in dentistry, life-saving medical devices that won't be able to help you because you're allergic to acrylates. But also that gel base is gonna rip off the enamel, completely destroying your teeth. When I saw this, I was like, I don't understand what they're doing. I don't understand what they're doing. Sorry, I'm filming this on a different day because this has just popped up. People on TikTok are saying that Billie Eilish doesn't like TikTokers. Now, Billie Eilish apparently has been kind of condescending to TikTokers and also complaining that TikTokers were also invited to the People's Choice Awards. In one video, we can see some TikTokers kind of like all standing around in like a standing area, directly facing celebrities who are all seated. And according to a few TikTok videos, these are more micro influencers, while some more famous, I guess you could say, or more follow TikTokers were seated in a separate area. And Billie Eilish is kind of talking to these smaller TikTokers, being like, she says like, you're going to be standing a lot, aren't you? Or something like that. The TikTokers are like, yeah, we're ready. And I didn't think much of it. I thought she was just communicating to these TikTokers, but people were saying she was being condescending and all this kind of stuff. I didn't quite believe it. And then we see this video of Billie Eilish saying that there's a load of TikTokers here. She covers her mouth when she says TikTokers like it's a curse word. And then apparently people are saying she can't be having it or something like that. Now, at first I was like, oh, that's kind of rude. But then I saw more videos posted by these larger creators on TikTok. And you see them kind of working their way around the celebrities' tables, trying to get pictures with them, and some even trying to film content with them. Now, this isn't exactly like the Met Gala. This is the People's Choice Awards. So you do expect a mix of different types of celebrity, I guess you could say. They are all there because they are liked by the general public. And I do have a few thoughts and personal opinions about this. First of all, number one, I think the new why are TikTokers here is the new why are YouTubers here? And I feel like that's because people still don't take these jobs as a serious job. And they're not that serious, but we pay taxes. And that means we work a job, you know? So when people like get a real job, it's real, like I promise you. And I don't know if it's just because like I'm a little bit older, I guess, than the average influencer, but I see this as a job. I see myself as a business. When I am gifted product, that is still a business transaction to me of sorts. It's not like a friend sending you a gift. Most relevant here, when I am invited to events, when I am invited to be in the audience for something, when I'm invited to speak at something, it is work. And there's an air of professionalism that I feel you have to have around you. And I don't know if it's just my history working with celebrities in the past where we had a strict no picture policy to the point if you took a picture or asked for a picture with celebrities, you would get fired. But I do feel like queuing to have pictures with these celebrities at these events is kind of unprofessional. I mean, I know they've been invited to create content, but you can create content from where you're sat. You can create content of yourself at this awards and people receiving their awards. I don't think it's highly professional to, on the breaks between filming or whatever, go up to celebrities who are sat at the table and try and film skits with them, try and get pictures with them, because they don't get this kind of shit at other award ceremonies. And to me, I think that's kind of what Billie Eilish was referring to. I very much doubt Billie Eilish hates TikTokers. I think TikTok has been very good for her career. She's amazingly talented alone, but I feel like TikTok has been good for many people's career. I personally think, from what we've seen of videos and everything, that she kind of just didn't want to be bothered at this kind of event, which I 100% get. I feel like at these events, once they've done the red carpet or the media carpet, had their pictures taken, done their little interviews, done interviews with TikTokers who have been invited to interview, they want to sit down, get their award, don't get their award, whatever, and that's kind of it. But team that with some TikTokers' constant need to get more content, viral content, get the best videos, certain celebrities, I do kind of think, I personally think it's unprofessional. I just think there's ways to attend events like this without having to hound people for content. I find it a bit weird, and I personally think that's where Billie Eilish was coming from. I could have completely made that up in my head, but judging from the rest of the content we've seen, that's more in the direction I'm leaning. Keep tagging me in these videos over on TikTok, or just join me again next month for another dose of the worst of TikTok beauty. You can watch some more videos here, some general light entertainment here, and I'll see you over there.